Alright guys, so I'm going to give my full honest opinion / review on the Templar class. Should be over here. Basically, as you can see, I'm veteran 10, so I've played Templar a lot. I've also done a lot of the map. I'm basically on the last zone, just trying to get the last bit of quests out the way. I'll give another full-on review once I've finished all the vet dungeons, but I thought it's more appropriate I give my honest opinion on the Templar class in case anyone's considering wanting to use a Templar or anything like that. Right, so basically the Templar class as a whole, it's okay, but a very limited role, and most people end up just using the exact same things because half the stuff is very unneeded, and stuff's quite similar, or stuff would be good if it was slightly extended with a bigger radius or longer duration or this or that, but because things are just off where they need to be, it makes them not needed because you can just use something else which is actually better in your weapon skills or something like that, right? But the Templar class as a whole is probably the most boring class, like, period. It's got weird ways to use it. You can only use it if you either being sword and board or you're being a healer. That's the only way you can use Templar, because I tell you what, I've been trying to use two-handed sword, and because it doesn't have any skills that help it out, it just dies. It dies so quick as if you're using anything else but sword and board. So we're just going to look at the actual skills, and if you guys use them, tell me in the comments and let me know why you use them or how you use them. But I've tried most things except the couple that you can't see, but I've tried most things in each class and they are not good or handy at all. Right, so first off, we'll start with the Adric Spear's ultimate. Right, I was using Radial Sweep for a while, but after that managed to get Dawnbreaker, which just replaces it. As you can see, it does 300 magic damage, and straight away this one nearly does double that, plus 60% on the Daedric or Undead plus Werewolves now, and 13% extra weapon damage. So straight away this becomes not needed because you can have something that's better that every class can use, right? This because you have such a bad survival rate as Templar, being sword and board has no good skills to kill things with, nothing good except shield bash, right? So you end up using biting jabs, right? And that's it. That's your like main offense, that and shield bash. Throughout your entire gameplay, you'll only use them two things to kill things. Anything else will not do the trick. So if you want to spend months and months using two skills to kill things, then this is a class for you, right? But yeah, so that's what you got to look forward to if you are considering being Templar. You will have no choice but to start using this, I guarantee it. Right, Piercing Javelin, this was okay, right? But remember, you've only got 5 skill slots. This was okay, except it's very expensive. Remember, I got a 4% reduction off that as well. That was okay till I started having the bow, and then I used the Magnum shot, which knocks them back 6 meters and me back 6 meters, and it's a lot cheaper. Plus, it's in stamina, which is handy for my Imperial. So straight away, that wasn't needed, right? So another skill not needed at all. Focus Charge. I find this pointless because all you're doing is charging an enemy and dealing a bit of damage, right? It's quite expensive for not much damage needed, and I don't think that's worth the slot at all. There's no way for that to be redeemed. Spear Shards. This again, I never ever took the appeal to this. You're just doing a bit of damage. People can pick up, and people can sort of synergize with it, pick up something and do an extra 25% damage or something like that. Yeah, they do extra things, gaining 25% stamina and additional 170% stamina over 10 seconds. So it's handy-ish, but I don't think it's not really worth the damage. I mean, it's quite expensive for magic for how little damage it really does, right? And then the blazing shield, I really tried to want to use this, but the fact it lasts 6 seconds become dog shit. Right, 6 seconds is not great, because you've either got this or the sword and shield one, which is this one where you absorb the magic and it becomes health. 115% of the magic shot at you becomes health. This, basically 30% of your health becomes a bit of a shield. That would be great if this lasted more than 6 seconds. Chances are it's going to run out before anyone even does any real damage. So that's the problem with that. It's really, that would be great if it was like 20 seconds long. It would be fantastic, but the fact it's too short for being the last skill in Age of Experience makes it pointless. So this whole skill line is pointless apart from biting jabs, right? These are only good because they help your biting jabs, as you can read it. It increases your block. Obviously, its spear ability slotted, so that's slotted. That because you're doing the biting jabs, it gives you a bigger chance to do a bigger hit, and the weapon damage increased by 4% and spell resistance by 200. Right, so that's what's right. That you don't even have to have a skill slotted for that. That just activates. Dawn's Wrath, the most useless skill line. I'd like anyone to tell me if they use any of these. Right, Solar Prism is great. That's the only redeeming feature. That's the only one. That's really good. Right, but this very expensive for very little damage. This again very expensive for quite a long cast and a strike. This again, none of these, as you can read, I didn't even bother going into any of these because they didn't even look that effective. Target enemy stores up damage for 6 seconds. When effect ends, they receive an additional 33% damage. Yeah, that's good if you're fighting bosses, but most things die in 6 seconds. Unless, the only thing that will be bosses. Everything else. So to save that just for bosses, I don't think that's really worth a slot. I mean, we've only got 5 slots, and to hold something for the 1% chance of fighting a boss, then it's not really worth it. This extremely expensive. Target reflects negative single target spells back at themselves for 4 seconds. Again, this is a 4-second duration. 4 seconds. When again, you've got the absorb magic, which lasts for 30 seconds. So you'd rather absorb the magic to health rather than it being casted back, right? So pointless skill. And another pointless skill for a very expensive amount. Nearby enemies have a 50% chance to miss and be set off balance for 3.5 seconds. So you cast this and it lasts for 3.5 seconds. Again, it's not worth the time whatsoever. All these are only good if you're using them things. I mean, that is terrible. What the hell? That is beyond terrible. Obviously that would become 2 additional ultimate, but not very good. And the spell resistance whilst using, yeah, that's cool, but you can just get an amulet which affects that. But again, you need one of these slotted, and they're all so shit it doesn't even matter. But this is the only good one. This is a fantastic one. Reduce the magic and stamina ultimate cost by 4%. And that's, yeah, so as you can see, so much is not needed. Restoring light. Rite of Passage, yeah, this is good. This is the only good if you're being a healer, right? So otherwise, this really isn't worth it. It would be, yeah, it is good as a healer role. That's what I'm saying. You can only use this if you're being a tank or a heal. Otherwise, you can't use this. This is great because it does heal you and everyone around. This, there's no point because the cast time is 2 seconds. By the time you cast it, you're probably going to be dead or have lost the equal amount of health that you just gained back. So yeah. Quicker one, more benefits, just getting it done out of the way. 2 seconds is a huge amount when you're fighting something. Radiant Aura, that's good for the obviously regen bonuses for you and everyone around. Then it goes on to Cleansing Ritual. This is really good. This is another really good one. I do like this one, but you're very limited with slots, so this is a good skill. This would be great if it weren't so small. The area is literally like a couple meters around you. It's fantastic. It lasts a good amount of time, but it's just too small of an area. You've really got to just stay in your area. By the time you cast it as well, you've already run out of it, so you got to quickly run back. So that's the problem with that. These are all cool. The increased crit chance, that would be good if I'm actually using something for more heals. That increases the duration of the restoring aura, so you regen for like 11 seconds instead of like 9, and increase your res thing. That's amazing, right? But as you can see, most of them do not have a place because either they're easily replaced by other things, or there's just no need for it whatsoever. But that's it, guys. That's my honest opinion of the Templar class. It's very limited you can do with it. It has a lot of potential, but that things are just off where they need to be. So in all, it's so boring as a class to play. It's like unbelievably boring and repetitive. So if that helps you make your choice to go onto Templar, then I hope I help a lot. Well, that's it, guys. Don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all later.